to the doctor said, "You are going to die. You are going to die." When I kind of told myself, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm just, doing crazy shit. If you're taking steroids and you continue to take them, becomes a point where they no longer work and you're just taking them. And drug-wise, I was taking 2 IUs of growth every hour and a half to 2 hours. And once you start taking steroids, your testosterone levels, your testes shut down and they no longer work.
Rich Piana's candid views on steroid use. Rich Piana, the man, the myth, and the muscle-bound legend, wasn't exactly the poster boy for subtlety when it comes to his steroid use. This guy wore his heart on his sleeve, or rather, his bulging biceps on his YouTube channel. First things first, Rich didn't tiptoe around his steroid use. No sir, he was as candid as they come. He didn't try to be all secretive like some undercover agent. Nope, he declared it loud and proud. If he was a superhero, his power would be the ability to lift heavy weights and confess to steroid use in a single breath. You couldn't help but respect his honesty. Whether you agreed with him or not, there was something refreshing about a guy who'd openly talk about stuff most other bodybuilders would whisper in the darkest corners of the gym. But Rich wasn't just about flexing those insane muscles and talking shop. He had a conscience and he wasn't afraid to use it. He was like that friend who warns you not to dive headfirst into the shallow end of the pool. Piana was all about letting the world know that steroids weren't all rainbows and sunshine.
I've been taking steroids for 25 years. I started when I was 18. Over the years, it's actually became more about injecting than lifting weights, Drug-wise, I was taking 2 IUs of growth every hour and a half to 2 hours. And once you start taking steroids, your testosterone levels, your testes shut down and they no longer work.
He'd say things like, if you have the choice to do steroids or stay natural, stay natural. There's no reason to do steroids. You're only hurting your body and hurting yourself. He wasn't sugarcoating it. He was laying down some cold hard truths. Then there was that one belief of his that stirred up some controversy. He thought that professional bodybuilders had their hands tied when it came to steroids. In his eyes, they had no choice but to pump up on the juice if they wanted to compete at the highest level. Now this isn't just Rich being a bad influence, it's a peek into the harsh reality of the bodybuilding world. Some might call it a cop-out, but others might say it's just facing the music. In the end, whether you agreed with his views or not, one thing's for sure, Rich Piana was a guy who wore his heart on his sleeve and had the guts to speak his mind. And in a world full of whispers, that's something to be remembered for. The life and career of bodybuilder Rich Piana. Rich Piana wasn't just a bodybuilder, he was a living mountain of muscle. His career in the world of bodybuilding was something to behold. The dude was a colossal force to be reckoned with, and his journey began long before he became an internet sensation. Piana had been pumping iron since he was a teenager, and he transformed himself from a scrawny kid into a hulking mass of pure muscle. His relentless pursuit of the perfect physique led him to the Mr. California title, and he was a force to be reckoned with in the bodybuilding world. But it wasn't just his bulging biceps that made him famous, it was his relentless work ethic. Rich was known for his insane workout regimen. His gym sessions were the stuff of legend, and he'd put in the kind of effort that would make even the most dedicated gym rats wince. He wasn't the type to take it easy. Oh no. He'd push himself to the limit and then some, proving that hard work truly pays off in the world of bodybuilding. What really set Rich Piana apart though was his influence on a massive audience of fans through the power of social media and YouTube. He wasn't just a bodybuilder, he was a celebrity in his own right.
I was doing cardio twice a day, and when I wasn't training or doing cardio, I was taking a nap.
J-Star, if you love it, kill it. Only 5% of you.
If you're a champion, you want to do whatever it takes. What I call a 5%er, it's eating real food.
With over 1 million followers on Instagram and legions of fans on YouTube, Rich had a platform like no other. Young men and aspiring bodybuilders look up to him, eager to soak in his wisdom and learn from his experiences. His candid videos, where he talked about everything from his steroid use to his workout routines, drew in hordes of viewers. People flocked to his channel, hoping to gain insight into the world of bodybuilding and fitness. He wasn't just a muscle-bound beast. He was a mentor, a guru, and an inspiration to many. In the world of bodybuilding, Rich Piana was a force of nature with a career that left an indelible mark. His massive physique, intense workouts, and his ability to connect with a vast audience made him a legend in his own right. And he'll be remembered not just for his brawn, but for the knowledge and inspiration he shared with countless fans. The dangers and benefits of steroid use in bodybuilding. Steroid use in bodybuilding is a topic riddled with controversy, and Rich Piana wasn't one to shy away from it. He gave it to us straight, addressing the stark realities and potential hazards while also acknowledging the allure of the benefits. First and foremost, Piana was brutally honest about the dangers of steroid use. He wasn't one to sugarcoat it. He'd tell you straight up that steroids could have life-threatening consequences. It's a message that many other bodybuilders might try to sweep under the rug, but Piana's candor set him apart. He'd emphasize the risks, from heart problems to severe hormonal imbalances, ensuring that his followers knew what they were getting into. But it wasn't all doom and gloom with Rich. He'd also share his own personal experiences with the benefits of steroids. Rapid muscle growth and increased strength were at the top of the list. He wasn't afraid to admit that, thanks to steroids, he went from a regular dude to a walking mountain of muscle.
Thing is I can't really say I'm for steroids, but I'm not really against steroids. You know, it's a personal choice. I was taking growth every hour and a half to 2 hours throughout the day. If you're taking steroids and you continue to take them, becomes a point where they no longer work and you're just taking them. And when I kind of told myself, like, what am I doing? You know, what am I doing? I'm just, doing crazy shit.
And the strength gains. Well, his bench press went from a respectable 315 pounds to a jaw-dropping 405 pounds. Those results were hard to ignore, and they contributed to the allure of steroid use in bodybuilding. What really made Rich stand out, though, was his approach to managing and mitigating potential side effects. He wasn't just diving headfirst into the steroid world without a care in the world. Piana was vigilant about his health, getting regular checkups and addressing any issues that cropped up. For instance, when his liver enzymes were elevated, he didn't just shrug it off. He took steps to lower them, even staying off the drugs for a while. He knew that, like any venture, there were risks involved, and he was willing to deal with them. Gynecomastia, or male breast enlargement, is a common side effect of anabolic steroid use. Piana had experienced it in the past, but he didn't rush to the surgeon's table. Instead, he tried medications to make it temporarily go away. This approach showed his willingness to confront side effects and find solutions rather than ignore them. Rich Piana's 30-year journey with steroids, a perspective. Rich Piana's 30-year journey with steroids is a roller coaster of experiences, lessons, and transformations that shed light on the complex relationship between bodybuilders and performance-enhancing drugs. It all started when Rich was just a young buck of 18. He dipped his toes into the world of steroids by trying a common cycle known as test and deca. This cycle mixed testosterone with the anabolic steroid decadurabolin for bulking. He weighed in at 185 pounds when he began, and in the span of 8 weeks, he skyrocketed to over 200 pounds. He even entered a competition and clinched the top spot. This early experience was like a spark that ignited a lifelong passion. With that initial taste of success and growth, Rich was hooked. His strength soared. Before the steroids, he was bench pressing 315 pounds, but afterward, his bench press soared to a whopping 405 pounds. It was a dramatic transformation, and it was clear that the steroids were having a profound impact on his physique and performance. He couldn't help but lured by the rapid, tangible results. But as the years went by, something changed. Rich's perspective on steroids and his approach towards them shifted as he got older and wiser.
Went to the doctor said, "You are going to die. You are going to die." I have used synthol. I used it, probably 12 years ago, and I didn't like it.
It's basically bench pressing your body weight for as many reps as you can. We call it the 100% club.
You have low testosterone, you're tired, you're lazy, you don't feel like doing anything.
He began to understand that more didn't necessarily mean better. In his own words, he realized that he could achieve better results with less. The obsession with getting bigger and stronger began to lose his grip on him. Instead of spending hours planning his cycles, he simplified his approach, realizing that it wasn't the be-all and end-all of his life. Over time, Rich Piana's outlook matured. He began to take his health more seriously, opting for a more measured and balanced approach. He was honest about the side effects, acknowledging that they could happen, but that he was willing to manage and mitigate them. It was no longer just about chasing after massive gains. It was about longevity and enjoying a fulfilling, healthy life. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.